Abayomi, Abayomi. My surname is Salako. Salako. Thank you very much. So Abayomi Salako is my name.
So tell us about you. You teach deaf children.
Okay. Before I answer this question, I will. Okay, so the way to help them deaf.
I'm asking him why he became a deaf teacher.
A deaf teacher.
Why? Why do you choose to be a deaf teacher?
Okay, because I love to teach. I love to teach the deaf children. That's just the first reason. I love to teach deaf children. I want to make a difference in the deaf community. I would love to make a difference in the deaf community, and also to be able to help the deaf children to become someone in life. That's the reason I love teaching deaf children.
Interesting. Beautiful. So my next question, the question 3. Question 3. Have you ever been rejected because of your deafness? Please hold on. Have you ever been rejected because of your deafness?
Yes.
Okay.
I've experienced so much of this, so many rejections by the hearing community. When I finished my NC, I was searching for job. I went around searching for job. People look at me like, oh, this person is a deaf person. I'm sorry, we can't accept you in our company. We are very sorry about it. They chase me away. Sometimes I come to another company searching for a better work. Just because I am a deaf person, they would not, just for that major reason, they will not accept me in that. So that's why I just okay, they did not want me to work there because they see me as just a deaf person. So I've faced a lot of these challenges, and also I've experienced this from the hearing community. For instance, now, if I come to a hearing person and the hearing people are doing something, I try to join them. When they see me, they notice that, okay, this person is a deaf person, they just immediately reject me. And so these are the things I've faced from the deaf community, from the hearing community, rather.
So thank you. So how are you able to overcome these challenges? Thank you.
Well, the best way we can overcome this, number one, is to create awareness. To create awareness to the hearing world, create awareness so they know about the deafness. That the deaf people can actually, that they are able, that there is ability in deafness. That whatever the hearing person can do, the deaf too can do it. That's the first thing. We'll also show ourselves our own personal abilities, our skills. We show our skills too. So the hearing can witness this and know that we are all equal in the society.
Now, with your wealth of experience as a deaf teacher, what is the best way
I don't have
to
money.
teach a deaf child?
I'm here to see.
Number one, the best way to teach a deaf child is the use of sign language. Without the use of sign language, the deaf person cannot understand anything. So sign language is very, very important for communication. Even as a deaf teacher, it's very, very important. And number two, we should teach the deaf. For instance, if you want to teach a deaf person, you give examples, because many of them may not understand the words, some of the words being used, some of the vocabulary is being used. So it's better, the best teaching method is to show through example, show pictures, or take them around to see things themselves, show them live pictures, live things, how it's happening. That's the best way to take the deaf children. Illustrations generally. We must also have a private lesson, a private class for them. The school schedule might not be enough. Yes, the school, when as there are a lot of the deaf people around, it may be distracting for them. So the best is to have a personal tutorial with them, like 2 or 3 of them, to have a full-time concentration on them, and then that will improve them, will help them to improve better. So a concentrating on 1 or 2, 3 deaf persons in a class is the best way to do it.
Thank you. Now, concerning that, you mentioned the fact that we teach them one-on-one to ensure that we're able to teach them better. But you know that there are not many schools for deaf children. The schools are just a few schools for deaf children. What do you think school owners should do? Do you think we should have more and more schools for deaf children? One-on-one lesson kind of, because the few schools we have, I believe they are well filled up. The few schools available, they are either very far from home or they are too filled up. Do you think there should be something to be done about the few schools for deaf that we have in Nigeria today?
Sorry.
Thank you. Well done, sir.
Presently, there is COVID-19. Some of the deaf parents still have the deaf children eating at home because presently they're obviously scared of COVID-19. So I want to encourage the government to establish more schools closer to the locations of the deaf. More schools is encouraged. And also remember that when we are, while in secondary school, we always have just one school. While I was in my own days, we only have just one school. There's no division between the secondary and the junior and the senior. The people from different local government come together. Like for instance, in Ikorodu, someone can come from CMS down to Ikorodu, from Ikoyi down to Ikorodu. There's no so they come together in that same school, and when they get to school,
they will come late.
They only arrive. They arrive there very, very, very late. Yes. So when after the school, they arrive back home in the night again. This going like that, it's a problem. So we want to advise, want to say the government should please establish schools closer for easy, and that's closer, that the proximity is not far from the homes of these children. That would be very, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so very much. They talked about the children getting to school very late because we have just a few of it, and people coming from very far distance from different local governments to just one available in the local government. It is not enough. Everyone is thinking about it. Not only the government, we all have to get involved. We all have to be involved and ensure these children have access to quality education. So as deaf teacher, another question now. As deaf teacher, what are you doing to ensure that your students pass well in external examinations? The external exam they are preparing for, how do you prepare them for it? How do you ensure, for instance, the common entrance, the WAEC and NECO, how do you ensure that these children get knowing really well that at home, the parents can't help because many of them don't know sign language. So how do we prepare them for external examination? Thank you.
The best way and the way I do it is to help the deaf person to pass well in the exams, in the external exams. Number one is to we teach them. Okay, we teach them learning habits. We teach them different learning habits. Number two, we should allow them to create their own personal timetable at home. We allow them to create their own personal timetable at home, not only the one used in school. They should have their own personal timetable at home too. When in their free time at home, they'll be able to study well. So these are the things, the extra things we do to make them. Then number three,
okay,
and we also make them participate in group discussions. We make them participate in group discussions so they can share ideas and opinions about what has been read. And number four, we encourage the deaf people to do private lessons. After the close of schools, they go home, they still have the private lessons. So we encourage that too. And six, we encourage the students to prepare with their past questions. They have past questions, they prepare with that. We do this. That will be easy for them to pass their exams.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. And lastly, another question I will add. What do you think about FDF collaborating with NAD and the TAN, teaching deaf children online? Do you think it's doable? Do you think deaf can learn through this online lesson platform?
Yes. It is very, very possible. It's very possible, especially those who have phones. Well, most of the deaf people are from poor background, and they may not have access to phones and all, have no money to be able to buy data for internet access. And those of them who have money, who can financially afford these things, then they can learn, of course, from this and benefit from this program. So if the deaf people, if they can get involved in this, it will really help the deaf people to learn better technical things and be able to improve their education. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sir. I really want to appreciate everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the advice you have given us. I want to say thank you. Thank you so very much. And also, I want to appreciate everybody who is joining us. If you have a question, anybody that have a question for Mr. Bayo, You want us to trash it quickly? The floor is yours. Please go ahead and ask your question. You can also type your question in the chat box, or you go ahead and take the mic and ask your question. Any questions?